Part of a huge rocket that launched China's first module for its Tianhe space station is falling back to Earth and could make an uncontrolled re-entry at an unknown landing point. The 30-meter-high core of the Long March 5B rocket launched the Heavenly Harmony unmanned core module into low Earth orbit on April 29 from Wenchang in China's Hainan province. The Long March 5B then itself entered a temporary orbit, setting the stage for one of the largest ever uncontrolled re-entries. Some experts fear it could land on an inhabited area. On Tuesday, the core was orbiting Earth around every 90 minutes at about 27,600 km per hour and an altitude of more than 300 kilometers. Since the weekend, it has dropped nearly 80 kilometers in altitude, and Space News reported that amateur ground observations showed it was tumbling and not under control. This, and its speed, makes it impossible to predict where it will land when Earth's atmosphere eventually drags it down, though McDowell said the most likely outcome is that it will fall into the sea, as the ocean covers about 71% of the planet. But McDowell says some pieces of the rocket will survive re-entry, and that it would be the equivalent of a small plane crash scattered over 100 miles. Since 1990, nothing over 10 tons has been deliberately left in orbit to re-enter uncontrolled. The Long March 5B core stage is thought to be about 21 tons. What's bad is that it's really negligent on China's part. Things more than 10 tons, we don't let them fall out of the sky uncontrolled deliberately, McDowell said. Based on its current orbit, the rocket is passing over Earth as far north as New York, Madrid and Beijing, and as far south as southern Chile and Wellington, New Zealand, and could make its re-entry at any point within this area. Given its velocity, a small change in its path could make a big difference to where it ends up. It's expected to return to Earth on May 10, plus or minus 2 days. McDowell said once it's clear the day it is returning to Earth, experts could predict its landing time within a 6-hour window. The rocket's launch was part of 11 planned missions as part of the construction of China's space station, which is expected to be completed in late 2022. The T-shaped space station is expected to weigh about 60 tons, considerably smaller than the International Space Station, which launched its first module in 1998 and weighs about 408 tons. China's space station will have a docking port and will also be able to connect with a Chinese satellite. Theoretically, it could be expanded to as many as 6 modules.